The inspiration is that when I've been driving and listening to music using a service that uses the internet, it the songs have been dropping out in certain places, and this has never happened to me before. And it's more of a recent thing, maybe the last year or so, but it whenever it happens, it feels like when you're watching a movie and the movie goes static and it switches between not two scenes but two worlds. Or it's like when you time travel and you get that it's like half of the old world and half of the new world, or half of the old time and half of the time that you're going into. And so it's something about the situation. The situation is that I've changed a lot. I've changed a lot and I keep changing, but there are parts of me that are trying to grab onto and hold onto my past identity, smaller parts of my identity, or parts of me that used to bind me, but they no longer bind me, but I'm still trying to latch on to them. I'm not letting this bigger expression of me take over fully. Glimpses are coming through, but sometimes I let them come through, sometimes they force their way through, but I'm still holding on. So I want to speak to that part that's holding on. I'm holding on because I'm scared. It feels like you're encroaching my space and I'm backing up against the wall. And now I'm like turning around and there's not much space left. Not much time left. You're going to overtake me. But I don't want to let you overtake me. But I'm smaller than you. I'm weaker than you. I feel threatened. I feel like I'm kind of blacking out, like going in and out of consciousness because the fear is taking over. My vision is like going black and then coming back and going black and coming back. And yeah, I'm up against the wall and you're coming. But I look at you and it looks like you're trying to hug me. But you're just so big and I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable. Yeah, it's a threat, like I feel threatened. But if I actually look at you, you're not threatening. It's like you want to love me. But I'm not supposed to let you do that. Because it's my role to stay small, right? And so if you come and encroach me, if you come and encompass me, if you come and consume me, I won't exist anymore. My role will be done. Is it really that simple? Yeah, I guess I knew this day would come, but it's like I'm looking for an elder. I'm looking for someone who's superior to me, because it's like that superiority, that superior person, that superior part gave me this role, and they told me it's like the instructions were just to hold on to it for dear life. I'm the keeper, I'm the protector of this smaller identity. But yeah, I guess roles do expire. And I look at you, this bigger thing that's coming towards me, and I know that you're also me, just a bigger part of me. And so if I let myself go, it's not really like I lose anything. Yeah, but I've got these like jitters, I've got this uneasiness because let's let's speak to the jitters, the uneasiness. I'm the jitters and I'm the uneasiness. And yeah, I can't let you go. I can't let you go. I want to stay. I want to possess you. I want to be the big one. I want to be the big one. And if I make you stay, the small part, then maybe if you stay long enough, you'll grow into a big part. But that's not how it works, is it? The big part already exists, and it's the smaller parts that let themselves go. But where do they let them go? Where do they let themselves go to? They let themselves dissipate, disintegrate. But once they disperse, once they break apart, the consciousness, it doesn't really go anywhere. It just merges back with the big consciousness. So the disintegration is really integration into the bigger part. Yeah, this jitteriness, it's like I'm trying to keep all the atoms jittering. I'm trying to make them move together, like to hold the form, to hold the solid. But if I let the jitteriness go, it's like, well, you'll just melt away. You'll just naturally disintegrate, naturally integrate into the bigger part. And so, yeah, I still want to say that I want to be the part. I want to I want to take the credit. I want my name to be on it. I want this individuality, this it's like I want to expand the small part into the big part, but that's not how it works. Yeah, I guess I'm making a mistake. And I, the jitteriness, the uneasiness, I'm just a smaller part, that part that is a small self that's backed against the corner. I'm just a smaller part of that. And that small part is just a smaller part of the bigger part that's coming towards it. I guess I have to admit that my role is over, my role has expired. But I don't want to. I don't want to because is it the wrong time? It's not the right time. No, that doesn't feel right. I don't want to because I feel sad now. I guess it's like I don't want to because if I if my role expires and if the bounds of me disintegrate and integrate into something bigger, then I have to admit that I was a smaller part of a bigger thing. And I don't want to do that because what if my role wasn't significant enough? If I disintegrate, will you forget about me? Will you forget I even existed? Will you look back and cringe? Will you look back and be embarrassed? I don't want to be like those parts that get hidden away in the closet, in the secret box, under all the clothes that you don't let anyone see because you're embarrassed about me. I want to feel significant. I want to know that my role was useful. I want to know that my role made me worthy of existing in the first place. Because the way you're acting towards me, it feels like you want to take on this bigger role. You want to be the bigger self, but in doing so, it's like I feel like you're trying to rush me away. You're trying to forget about me because well, I guess we all know that the quicker you forget about me, the quicker you integrate me, the quicker that you get to experience bigness, expansion, which is better. I know it's better. Better for you, better for all of us, better for the consciousness. But I don't want to be forgotten. I don't want to be swept under the rug. Yeah, it hurts, like in my chest, because you're demonizing me. You're saying this past self, this past part of yourself, these smaller parts of yourself, they're embarrassing, they're cringy, they're unworthy. And you're mad. I can see that you're angry that I existed in the first place. I can see you saying, why couldn't you just be the big self all along? Why couldn't you just be expanded all along? Why couldn't your consciousness be aware of itself, be conscious of itself, remember itself, recognize itself? But I needed to exist because the parts that keep you bound, these smaller parts like me, we are karma, we create the storyline. And yeah, it doesn't feel great to be bound, it doesn't feel great to suffer. And I know that I made you suffer, or I didn't make you suffer, but your perception of me created your own suffering. And so you associate me with suffering. And you know that once you let go of me, you disintegrate me, you disintegrate all the other parts like me, all the other little parts that keep you bound. Once you clear all your karma, you'll be enlightened, and enlightenment is blissful. There's a baseline of happiness, of contentedness and you won't suffer anymore. But it doesn't mean that my role wasn't worthy. It doesn't mean that my role was insignificant, because without me, you wouldn't have forgotten that you were God. You wouldn't have forgotten that you were nature. You wouldn't have forgotten that you were source. And you need that forgetting, because when you forget, it gives you the opportunity to remember. And that remembering that you are the big self, the big capital S self. You are source, you are God, you are nature. You are the unified field. That storyline, it needs the forgetting in order to remember that, in order to remember what I am. The remembering, the recognizing, recognizing. You can't recognize if you didn't cognize, if you didn't cognize. You couldn't recognize if you didn't forget. You needed me in order for you to forget. This is nature's greatest power, the ability to forget itself. I know you want to integrate me as soon as possible, but you're not giving me the credit that I'm actually nature's most powerful power. Without the forgetting, you wouldn't have reunion. You wouldn't get to feel the bliss of unity with self. Small self unifies. I always want to say unionizes. Small self unifies with big self. That's unity, and unity is love. Love is unity. So, if I wasn't here to help you forget, you wouldn't experience love. So, it hurts when it's like you try and kick me down into the mud. I'm on my hands and knees, and you look down at me in disgust. But I'm not disgusting. I wasn't useless. I wasn't worthless. I played a function, I played a role, and it was necessary for the greater storyline of unity. So please, stop disregarding me. Stop disowning me. Stop demoralizing me. It hurts, but it also signifies some ignorance. An enlightened person is no longer ignorant. They no longer ignore what they know. To know the capital S self is to know that you are everything, which includes me and all the other parts like me. And again, I know the forgetting functions, you suffer when you interact with us, but once you're enlightened, you can interact with us without the suffering part. It's really not us. It's you interacting with us and adding the suffering in because you're ignoring the role that we play. You are creating us out to be demons, but the idea of a demon, it only exists when you don't know what you're looking at. But you know that we're necessary parts of the story. And so when you look at us now, you won't see demons, but you'll see the building blocks of storyline. So it's not us who are holding you back from integrating with a bigger self. It's the fact that you're not acknowledging our actual role and you feel on the inside that it's creating some dissonance, it's creating ignorance because part of you knows that we're significant, but part of you was trying to ignore that. But you can't do that any longer. Once you stop demonizing us, once you acknowledge the role that we played, the function that we played was useful, then we'll be free to disintegrate, to integrate back into consciousness, and we will no longer bind you. That's what we need. And we know you can do that. We know you can do that.